Hello everyone. I'm Dr. G. Hemalatha, Assistant Professor of English, Department of English and Foreign Languages, Madanapalle Institute of Technology and Science. Today, we're gonna see the session on subject verb agreement. So, we have many rules when we talk about subject verb agreement. So, I have chosen only 20 rules today to deal with this particular session. So first we need to know what is meant by subject verb agreement. Actually, in any verb in a sentence must agree with the subject in terms of number and person. This is a common understanding on subject verb agreement. And why this is important? When we look at the significant details on subject verb agreement, actually it is essential both for speaking and writing, and it gives you confidently to speak and approach, and also to write very clearly without any ambiguity. So, this reason we need to know very clearly what is meant by subject verb agreement and why we are using so. So, here I would like to present the top 20 rules of subject verb agreement, which is helpful in our day to day life and activity. So, first picture, initially, when we feel like when we feel the grammar is very difficult. So, I would like to break this concept because grammar is a very easy subject. Before we get into it, we need to apply certain strategies to learn. So, that will help you to make you feel very ease, and it is very clear to understand the concept. So, when we look at the subject verb agreement, so imagine two birds are there, and when we look at individually, that is the birds are discussing together. When we look at the bird together, it seems like the birds are discussing. So what is the first bird is doing? It is speaking. What is the remaining second bird is doing? It is listening. So here also, even with the basic picture, we tend to learn subject verb agreement more clearly. So if we see the overall, it's like two birds are discussing. When we look into the individual bird of one, it is speaking and the other one is listening. Singular subject. For example, subject and verb must agree in number. So that is a rule, we have seen it. That is a concept we got it with this session. So singular subject and singular verb should be focused on. For example, dog is a singular, third person singular. So when the verb comes the very next with the dog, it should add either s or es according to the verb. For example, dog eats food, dog eats its favorite ice cream, so like that. And when we see, this can be applicable with third person singular forms, he, she, or it. So instead of dog we can refer it eats, but the picture shows that it is a dog. And he, and one more question also you may have. When we are supposed to add es, actually, he goes. Imagine go, after go, we cannot add simply s. It should go with es. So in that case, he goes to the temple. She goes to the temple. So this is a way is convenient and appropriate to use the third person singular form, especially with the singular verb. So that we have to understand first. So plural subject, plural verb. So singular is over now, and plural subject, plural verb. Hence, if we take the hence as plural form, hens quack, hens quack, they sleep. So this is how we have to understand. This is how we have to write. And vice versa, we should not write anything. If it is singular present tense, singular form, the verb should also go with singular verb. And also, if the subject is plural, plural form verb, we have to follow it, either in speaking or in writing. Subject verb should have an S. This is a rule, as I stated earlier. He runs, she sleeps, cat plays. So this is a singular form. Example I gave it to you. In case if we feel like he goes, she goes. So there are some exception also. So es also can be added according to the verb which we selected. And rule number 2, don't get confused by the word that come between the subject and verb. So usually what people will imagine, no, the subject should be followed with a verb immediately. No, that is not possible all the time. So sometimes if we look into the modern phrases or modern technology or modern textbook, this kind of wordings, this kind of sentence is also followed. So we look into it. The police officer who was called to the case is usually a very good and clever person. So look at it. The police officer is singular. In the middle of the sentence, we are using is. So it doesn't mean that the mean between certain phrases are also there. So these phrases will not affect the subject and the verb. So that statement we have to make it clear with a example. And next one, the soulmate who was called to the dinner is usually kind-hearted. So soulmate is usually kind-hearted. So that is a way we write it. So it is nothing wrong if there is any phrases in between the subject and the verb. So that we have to look into it. We'll move to the next rule. Okay. So, as I told you, the phrases are in between the subject and the verb, but there is a common understanding we need to have based on the subject verb agreement. The biker is singular, the cycler is also singular. So, we are using is form here. But in between, the prepositional phrases are also there. It will not affect the subject and the verb given in the sentence. So, that understanding we need to come to it. And next one, the same sentence, if we look into change into plural form, the bikers or cyclers in this race are very competitive and energetic too. So in that case, the both the plural form is taking up the are form here, that is verb is are, which is having a mutual understanding between subject and the verb, even though the prepositional phrases is appearing in between, or it is being in between the subject and the verb. And next one, I would like to add few things here. That is why I have mentioned this particular following examples. We usually will call it as bouquet. Bouquet is a singular. Yes. So when it comes to the part of bouquets, we are using plural form are. So whenever it comes to the collective noun, for example, bunch of keys. So if that is a case, we are considering as one, bunches as one. So the bouquet in this climate is good looking. It is singular. Okay. The bouquets in this climate are good looking. So that we have to understand. So bouquet is consisted of many number of flowers. Though it is singular, the name which we coin as bouquet, it contains many number of flowers, but it should be treated with singular form only, verb only, singular verb. We'll move to the next one. Okay. If a sentence starts with there or hey, here, the subject will always be placed after the verb. For example, listen, there is a meeting today. So you can ask why the subject, we are not something violating the subject verb agreement. Sometimes verb should come first and the subject will follow the next. So that is also there. So in this case, subject will always be placed after the verb, not in the beginning. So listen, there is a meeting today. And we look at the another example. Here are the rules to check the profit of the stock exchange. So look at the results are. So usually what we'll say, the results are it to be published. So when we normally speak, we'll make the agreement between subject and verb. But when we use there or here, verb has to be in the beginning and subject has to be placed after the verb. So this is the rule number 4. Next, we'll move to the rule number 5. So this also is very interesting. The reason is whenever we imagine the question tag, it's very beautiful exercises because many people can secure many marks in that with the easy understanding. Similarly, whenever you raise some questions, definitely subjects can come after the verb in questions, no doubt about it. Because I'll throw some examples. I'll put some examples to make you more clear. Does Priyansi always play with dolls? Is it? She plays. That is actually she plays always. She always plays with the doll. So that is a answer we'll get it. So how will raise the question? Does Priyansi always play with dolls? Is she playing with dolls? So this is how we'll make it. So imagine whenever we are framing the question, verb should be in the priority of first place and the subject will be following the next. Are the Basco sticks good and tasty today? How are the Basco sticks today? So look at it. So how much ever we coin the questions in various forms, definitely verb should be in the first position, followed followed by the subject. We'll move to the next rule. Okay. If two subjects are joined by and, they typically require a plural form. Yes, it is absolutely. We'll see why. The puppy and the girl. So the puppy is different element and the girl is different element. They are coming together. They are the two different things involved in one frame called friends. So when the two different things are put it together, we have to use are. Verb should be used as a are form. And we'll move to the next sample sentence. The policeman and the house owner is friend of mine. So what is the difference of is here? The policeman is the same person and the house owner is also same person. But they are having two different roles. The policeman and the house owner is friend of mine. So they both are not the different persons. So the verb is confirming that the both the persons are similar only and it tended to mean one single person. It refers to single person with dual roles. That's it. So we should not get confused between the verb are and is. If it is are, it meant to two different things. If it is meant to single reference, but maybe with dual roles sometimes. We'll move to the seventh one. Okay. If two subjects are separated by and refers to something, the verb is singular. For example, the bread and butter. Sometimes there will be some connection of words, connection of phrases. We can't divide bread and jam is my favorite snack. We can't say bread and jam are my favorite snack because altogether it is giving a meaningful sense. Bread and butter is my favorite snack. Cup and saucer is my favorite gift. So certain things should be clubbed together. It cannot be separated. The meaning it may seems like meaningless if it been separated. So that part we have to understand very clearly. If two subjects is separated by and refers to same thing, the verb is singular. Next rule. Okay. If both the subjects are singular and connected by or, nor, neither, nor, either or, not only but also. So many people will be saying that This is the grammar rule we are supposed to follow. For example, either or, neither nor, not only but also. So these are the verbs people may have the common understanding by looking at the words. That is the verb. They may be a plural form. They may have a misconception or misunderstanding on this verb identification. So according to the grammar rule, these are all the things comes under singular form only, singular verb form. For example, Sally or Belly has stolen the scarecrow. So R is mean by either Sally or Belly. That is a common understanding we need to have. So it is a third person singular. So we are using has stolen the scarecrow. And either the doctor or home nurse has to take care of the patient well. So look at the next example sentence. Neither the conductor nor the passenger has patience. So altogether we are meaning either the conductor or the passenger. Sometimes neither the conductor nor the passenger. So everything should go with singular verb form only. So as per the grammar rule. And next one, neither the teacher nor the student has patience. Neither the librarian nor the you may have a doubt here with this example sentence. The reason is, so far we have seen the examples only with the singular form, yes or no, teacher and student. But now we are facing singular noun for neither and the plural noun in the nor. So in this case, it is very, very important to look at the second, that is after neither the librarian nor the student. So whenever the verb is coming before the subject, so that you have to clarify, because here we'll go with subject verb agreement. So consider the students as subject and verb as want. So here you have to see the nearest subject verb agreement. It's not like far away or beginning of the sentence. So in this case, neither the librarian nor the students want to use this book again. I think I have clarified now. Okay, next one, not only the guitar player but also the drummer was soaked with the sweet music. So this we have to note it down. And in most of the competitive exams, we can find this kind of sample sentences, and they may ask to point out the errors. So we have to know where the error is exactly. So for example, if we imagine like neither the student nor the student wants to use this book again, because I've made a statement with student. In that case, if the subject is singular, the verb has to go ahead with singular verb as per the subject. Student wants. Whereas here, students plural form is there, so the verb we'll use it as want. And as per the rule, not only but also is mandatory, because the as per the grammar rule we have to stick on to certain things. So not only the guitar player but also the drummer was soaked with the sweet music. We'll move to the next rule. Okay. If both the subjects are plural and connected by the words or, nor, neither, nor, either, or not only but also, the verb is plural. So far we have seen the singular form, but now we come to the plural form. When both the cases, it considered as plural form. For example, cookies and brownies are nice treats for your family members or a teacher. So it is not like cookie or brownie. It is like cookies and brownies are. Note this concept. Cookies and brownies are. So here definitely when the cases both the things are plural, definitely you have to consider this as a plural verb. So yeah, we have to use accordingly. When the both the concept comes under singular form, we have to use a singular verb. I think I made it very clear. And this ending part we no need to mind either singular or plural form. That is not needed for us. Okay. Next one. Next rule. We'll focus on the next rule. If one subject is singular and one plural and are connected by the words or nor or neither nor neither nor either or either or are not only but also. Use the subject that is nearest the verb. As we saw the same pattern previously in somewhere. Yes or no? In previous slides. Either my sisters, look at it, it's in plural form, or my mom has sent me a present. So you may have a doubt how to select the verb singular or plural. So as per the rule, subject verb agreement should be go with the nearest of verb. So this nearest of verb, this is singular. My mom is singular, that person present tense. So we are using has form. So when you are getting two different things, you have to give priority for the later one, which the verb is very close to the subject. And not only the verb, but also the Smith. Smiths is nothing but group of people. Again, it comes under the plural form. So we are using Smiths want some hamburgers for supper. I think I made it clear. So focus on the nearest verb towards the subject. We'll move to the next one. Units of measurement. I think this is very good to know. Units of measurement usually use a singular verb. For example, 7 gallons. 7 gallons of paint. Whatever the count is, 10 gallons or 6 gallons, we no need to mind. This gallons is should be considered as singular. 7 gallons of paint was used on the house this year. And $8. Some people may think $8. Imagine that is coming under the unit of measurements. Though it is $2 or $3, it should be mentioned as is only. The verb should be mentioned here as is only. So $8 is too much for a cup of coffee in US. So look at the concept. So whenever you find the unit of measurements, you have to use only the singular verb, not the plural one. We'll move to the next one. Okay. Collective nouns usually take a singular verb. As I told you, collective nouns, the herd is stampeding. The meaning is herd. What is meant by herd? A group of elephants is called as herd, or sometimes it is called as parade or memory. So in that case, herd is a singular. Collective nouns we always treat in the way of singular. So the herd is stampeding. Sorry, herd is stampeding. So that is a right thing to be pronounced. And the class was or is ready for the test. So imagine the entire class, the class mentioned to the entire class of the students. So we have to account it as a collective noun here and we have to use a singular. The class is ready for the test. Here, whatever we want, we can use it either past tense or present tense. But as per the rule, it should be in a singular verb. So that's it. The class is ready for the test. We'll move to the next example and next concepts of subject verb agreement, that is 13th one. Title of the books or movies, novels, etc. are treated as singular. So we may have a doubt. So if we take Oliver Twist work name, which is named as or called as the Pickwick Papers. The Pickwick Papers written by Oliver Twist. Okay. So in that case, the title, though it shows a plural form, we have to write only in singular. So that is a concept we have to get it. Holes was or holes is, like that only we have to, because it is a title of the books. Title of the books: Holes, Pickwick Papers, The Great Expectations. Though we normally will call it as expectations are not good for life. Yes or no? So that is different. When comes to the title of the books, The Great Expectations is one of the inspiring stories, but it depicts the sufferings of Pip. So this Great Expectations written by Charles Dickens. So this we have to note it down. So the title of the books or movies or novels, though it is given in the plural form, we have to treat it as a singular verb. That's it. And we'll move to the 14th one. So infinitives. What is in my infinitive? To, TO. So when we find double infinitives separated by and take a plural verb. So to read and write are my two favorite things during my free time. To read and to write. So look at the concept. To read and to write are two different things. So we have to treat them in a separate way, and we have to select the verb, plural verb, are my favorite things during my leisure time. Okay. We'll see that the fifth subject verb agreement. As per the rule, gerunds alone take a singular verb and gerunds linked by or and should take a plural verb. Dancing is not something everyone can do as well as I can. Dancing is because gerund should take up a singular verb. Gerund linked by and or by should take up the plural verb. Walking is good for weight loss and help people to burn their calories. So that is very important, because here we could see that, one minute, here we could see walking is good for weight loss and help people to burn their calories. Okay, this is with the and form, so we are using plural form of verb here. And I stand by. So I told you, when the gerund is linked with the plural form, that is linked with by, we have to go ahead with the verb of plural form. I stand by ethics no matter my huge sufferings of life. So we'll move to the next one. Okay. If the words each, every, or no come before the subject, the verb is singular. For example, each boy and girl has, as we apply the previous set of subject verb agreement, here also we have to follow it. That is the girl, each boy and girl has to attempt or write the test. Every frog and toad turns into prince in my dream. So look at it, every frog and toad turns. It means every singular, each singular. So no paper and pen is required. No, no is also singular concepts. Singular verb it has to work on. But an apple would be nice for the exams. Okay. Dancing and singing come naturally to me. Come, let us enjoy. So dancing and singing come, because these two things are treated separately. So we are using come here. The singular form, we are considering dancing and singing together. Okay. So here also we have to treat as different form. Okay. So dancing and singing come naturally. So if two things are included, we are mentioning as come naturally to me. Come, let us enjoy. And next rule, why we are not using comes, because we are not using dance comes naturally or singing comes naturally. So we are using two subjects there. Dancing and singing come naturally to me. Come, let us enjoy. So we'll move to the next one. Rule number 17. It's very, very important. So please make a note of it. Mention most indefinite pronouns take singular verbs. Most indefinite pronouns take only the singular verbs. For example, whatever the words ends with one, everybody, somebody, buddy, and things, some things, anything, nothing, everything, like that. So when these three concepts, one, everyone, someone, anyone, no one, like that, okay, and somebody, anybody, nobody, or something, anything, nothing, everything. So all these things should be considered only as singular, and that is we have to add only the singular, considered as plural, that is pronouns. All these pronouns should take only the singular verbs. So little, one, another, neither, much, either, each. So all these things should take up only the singular verbs. Everybody is happy because of your smile. Nobody has dim. Dim means very small space. So we know only the bird's nest is very small. Okay, so where others cannot find space in living. So I think no one has a dim. Nothing was going to help me at this time. So these are the few examples. I think it is very clear. Most indefinite pronouns definitely take only the singular verbs. And next rule, both, few, many, others, and several take plural verb. For example, both of you have to come. Plural, come is a plural verb. Okay. Several need. It's not like several means the meaning is few. Again, the meaning is few. Several need to finish the race quickly. Running race quickly. Okay. Several need to finish the running race quickly. A few have the right answer. Only a few have the right answer. A few, it refers to the plural form of verb. Okay. Plural verb, we have to mention it because a few we are considering it as a plural subject. She has a few good friends. Look at the concept. Though the subject is she, has a few good friends. A few is followed by good friends because a few we know it very well what it is. It is a thing comes under the verb. Where to place the verb exactly. A few good friends. So whenever you find the words like a few, many, or others, or several, definitely we have to select the plural verb. No doubt about it. And 19th rule, when the subject is all, any, more, most, none, or some, that is only time you must look at the object of the prepositional phrase to determine whether it is singular or plural. I'll tell you a few things. It's a happy news that all of chickens have. So look at it, chickens is a plural form. Okay, so as per the subject verb agreement, the nearest of the subject should agree the verb. So all the chickens have laid eggs within a short period. And some of the milk, as the rule, some has to be treated with singular. Some of the milk has. Some of the milk has spilled or spoiled. So this also we have to consider it. Object of the prepositional phrase we have to find it out, and based on that we have to decide the singular or plural, because chickens is have and some of the milk has. Okay, so these are the differences we have to make a note of it when placing the verb before the subject. And the final rule, remind, it's a very important things to remember. Only the subject affects the verb. Verb will not affect the subject. Only the subject affects the verb. So we have to be very, very careful with the subject. I agree. She agrees. He agrees. And it agrees, like that. So we'll go ahead with conclusion. All these 20 rules will be highly helpful and useful in our day-to-day life. Practice makes a man perfect, says by Bacon, As per that, if we work on with all these strategies to apply the rules in our reality, definitely we'll become a master and we'll be a excellent person in commanding with the English language. Apply these rules to be proficient in grammar. Remember, the verb in a sentence must agree with the subject in terms of number and person. Now just recall subject verb agreement rules and apply it in your own sentences and ensure the accuracy in grammar. And refer some standard grammar textbook and do the sample exercise based on this topic and check your score after checking the answers. And finally, I would like to thank the management and MITS Radio for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And I hope you have got the very good input based on subject verb agreement. And thank you for providing me this opportunity. Thank you.